Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Ellarku namaskara.
Ellarku namaskara. I got it from them. Thank you so much for coming, supporting us all through PS1, and I hope you do the same for PS2. It's so good to see all of y'all here. Thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Two-part question, one related to PS2. After Ravanan till PS1 and 2, can you talk about your association with Mani Ratnam? And also, like she said, a lot of unanswered question, and the face-off between you and Aishwarya Rai is something that's very exciting for us. So, working with her, how was it? Can you explain both of them?
Thank you. I hope my answer is not as long, but that's a sweet question. Mani sir, I think all of us on stage here also will agree with me. I think he brings out the best in us. He makes us explore what is inside us, and there are sometimes some emotions and some characteristics that even we don't know we possess. He makes sure that comes out when we do the characters. And nobody handles love the way he does. Nobody makes songs the way he does. So it's always been my dream to be in his film. I'd said earlier the last time that I want to be introduced on a bike, the first shot and glares and stuff. And instead I got introduced on a horse, I think, which is even better. And in a Mani Ratnam film with romance, though I don't, it's unrequited love in both films, but I think he's a master at this, and it's so beautiful to work with him. And I'd already told him after Ravanan, I was saying, sir, we need to, he was also telling me, I was saying, sir, I love working. Then he was saying, Kenny, we need to do 100 films. So I said, sir, first get me the second film, and this is the second film. 100 films will take a long time, but that's him. Aishwarya Rai, what did you ask me?
Yeah, generally because part 2 is all about the face-off. Can you just talk about the work?
Yeah, it's more not Aishwarya Rai and me, it's more Nandini and Aditya. We are friends. Great family friends, actually. I think that will be one of the many beautiful suspenses that is unraveled in the second second edition of this. And I'm looking forward to it because there is so much of emotion and so many layers within that romance itself. It's very difficult to, romance is a very difficult emotion to emote, but when you have somebody like, a character like Aditya Karikalan, wherein he's such a huge warrior, he's someone who's fearless, and he just throws everything, he throws the crown, he throws everything. He says, I don't want royal, I don't want this life, I just want to go away, go for war, I just want to forget her. And his love is so strong, finally he's willing to do anything for her, and he becomes so vulnerable. It's almost like what I did in Ravanan. It's almost the same kind of emotion, but here it was a different experience because I was a prince and a warrior and all that. And I think you will like the way Mani sir has kind of knotted it up. Apart from that, there are so many other, like the romance between VT and Kundavai, and what happens to Arunmozhi Varman, and every character there is a beautiful round-up. The first part was, like I'd say, is like an introduction to all the characters. The second part is the story. And in fact, when you're sitting for dubbing, and I remember the Kannada, I had to thank him for dubbing so beautifully for me. The whole team was sitting and saying, sir, second part is the part, no sir. How are we releasing the first part separately? You should come with the second part. Second part has the juice. So I'm sure you guys will not be disappointed. It will be a beautiful experience for you.
And the second part of...
You know Pitamagan in Tamil, yeah. The thing is, when I did Pitamagan, I thought, God, I never imagined there was a character like that. You could create a character like that. It happens in the story writer's mind, the director's mind, and they created that. And I've always wanted to do a historical film, but one of the roles I always loved to do, was Aditya Karikalan, of course, Vandiyathevan. I've always thought I should do that, or Karnan. So I never thought I'd get it. Now I'm doing Tangalan, which is like something I've never envisioned. So directors' minds are so fertile and they are evolving. Every generation I'm meeting is coming out with new stories. So I don't think I'll ever get tired of being passionate about cinema. And as long as you guys are there to support us and love the work we do and the perfection that we are striving for, when you like that and when you encourage that, I think I can never get tired of it. The other languages won't do as well as that. It is that. Even Hindi did very well for a Tamil film. But you say, but it's not done as well as in Tamil? Obviously not, because Tamil it's totally a Tamil film, like Karthi says. It's totally Tamil culture. It's about the characters. Everything is about us, and that's it.
And I would like to add something to that. And we believe it will do good in South India, but let us not only see the theatrical run of the movie. Now that North knows what the Chola dynasty is, North will know what kind of kings were there, and it is on OTT platform. It's going to live forever. So they are going to see it. If not in the theater, they will. This life will be shown. It will.
And they will understand.
They will understand. Eventually, they will understand, and that's the effort we put into this to make this film.
Had it not been for Mr. Mani Ratnam, I would have given it a second thought for sure. But I'm very open to multi-starrers. I feel in today's time and age, it's something an actor should be open to. So it's amazing. I want to actually hats off to 3 of these superstars sitting here, because I feel every hero would think twice before accepting a multi-starrer. And this was one such film where from day one, and I'm talking about much before we even started filming, Mani sir made us all feel so secure in our roles. It also helped that we have books, so each of us knew what we were doing. And even all through filming, I don't think there was any difference where any of us actually thought who has a better role, or would his or hers be more impactful. We were all so happy with the roles which we were doing, at the same time inspired and appreciated what everybody else also played. Only Mani sir can do this, and I'm sure the rest of the cast would agree with me on that.
Language. You can watch Spanish films, you can watch Bengali films, you can watch Tamil, you can watch Kannada, you can watch Gujarati. Because of the COVID, which unfortunately did whatever it did to the world, it helped cinema in a big way. Because OTT came in and it helped us in finance. At the same time, the reach of cinema is rampant now. Any language you can watch a film just like that. Just go on the net and just surf and you can watch it. And I think that is what cinema is. So there's no boundaries. So I think this pan-India is I think you start, there is also this thing that you may want to reach out to a wider audience with a particular genre. But then I feel any good cinema in any language, if it has the emotion and if it has the story and the substance, I think it will do well and it will be received. And I think now people have started appreciating films. See, Malayalam film industry is something which is very small. But something like Vindal Murali was a rage on Netflix. It became the #1 that period. So it reached, across the country. And likewise, our films, think about RRR. We've actually got an Oscar. It's like that. We're actually going beyond India now. So I think cinema is like love. It's universal. It will always be there.
Karthi sir. And in part 2 also, we have seen some
lot of sweat and blood.
So I think I've stayed on the set the maximum. Along with the director, cameraman and the camera, I think I'm the one who's travelled along throughout the film.
And the horses.
Horse, of course. I really loved playing this role, and I could relate a lot with Ponniyin because he can connect with anyone very easily, and he's got a sense of humor, and he's somebody who will get into a trouble and then think about how to come out of it. He doesn't think before getting into it. So he's that kind of a person who's all life. He wants food, he likes girls, he likes to travel. He has big dreams. So all that was very easy to connect. But the difficult part was meeting the girls, all the women, because each time there's a very different equation, the way he relates to each woman in the film, and that I think Mani sir really helped. I think my understanding of that scene would completely change once I go and start shooting with Mani sir. So for example, there was a scene where I meet Nandini, Aishwarya Rai in the first film. There's a dialogue where I say it with a smile. Mani sir said, "Don't smile." I said, "Sir, why sir?" He said, "No, I want Nandini to think that you're intelligent. So I want you to suppress your feeling and say that line like, I know what you're thinking, so don't worry, I will not do that mistake." That one thing completely changed the graph of my character. So he was always with me, helping me out. Like even when I'm meeting Kundavai, he would make sure that, he's himself a prince. Vandiyathevan is a prince, but he doesn't have a kingdom. So he cannot let himself down. He will always hold himself high, even though she's the greatest empire's princess. So those are small understandings which Mani sir gave me, which changed my performance. So I think I had Mani sir's help throughout. And of course action, I always enjoy doing action, and when Ravi is there, we enjoyed even more because I'll get rest when he's fighting, and he'll take rest when I am fighting. And when I'm acting with Vikram sir, there is so much I could admire when he's doing the Crown Prince. Now we've seen Vikram sir act, we've seen how he will transform on screen, but I'm getting to see him on person, and the way Mani sir established their friendship in just one shot was also beautiful. We never get to see them being friends, but in just one shot we know they are very good friends. I think throughout I would say really Mani sir helped me out in this film.
The part 1 movie is around 3 hours. So part 2 will be around 4 hours. 3 hours 50 minutes. The duration of the movie will be 3 hours 50 minutes. It's 2 hours 50 minutes.
2 hours.
2 hours 50 minutes.
First one 2 hours 50 minutes.
Yeah. Even the part 2 is. He's saying that part 1 was around 2 hours 50 minutes. Even the part 2 is around 3 hours 50 minutes. He's asking. No, it's around 2 hours 50 minutes. How the audience will stay till.
Like how they saw the first part. This is a shorter version than the first part. And
if the movie is good, they'll watch it.
He thought it's around 4 hours. He thought.
No, not 4 hours. The books are many books, but the movies are only 2 hours.
Multi-star நடிக்கிறதுல ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட்ஸ். தேங்க்யூ சார். புரியும், பேசதான் வராது. ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை சார், எதுவும் இல்லை சார். ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட்லாம் இல்லை.
கொஞ்ச நேரம் முன்னாடி இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர்ஸ் மீட்ல அழுதாரு, ஏன்னா எங்களை விட்டு பிரிய முடியலன்னு அழுதாரு. He cried. And now he's saying there's no plus point.
Anna,
it's okay.
Anna, listen now.
Your weakness is our plus point.
ஒரு ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை. ஏன்னா நான் கார்த்தி சொன்ன மாதிரி நான் நினச்ச மாதிரி என்னென்னா நான் பார்த்துருப்போம் இல்லையா, அவரோட பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பார்த்துருப்போம். நேரில் பார்க்கும்போது unconsciously you will get to learn something, and better than that, consciously you get to unlearn something. That is the best part of a multi-star, I think. You know, now you will consciously you will leave your எப்படி சொல்றது, ஒரு பேட் ஹேபிட்ஸ் விடுற மாதிரி பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸில் ஏதாவது நமக்கு ஒரு தப்பு நமக்கே இருக்கிறது தெரிய வரும். அப்போ அது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக it will go off, it will fade off. And to interact with good minds, good actors is a gift. You will never get it otherwise. Only in parties or அந்த மாதிரி தான் பேச வரும். அப்போ கூட we will speak like ஏதோ சம்பந்தம் இல்லாத ஒரு டாபிக் we will talk. It doesn't matter what we spoke. We just want to spend time together. But when you act, you are so put together in one space, one creative space where you can exchange everything. That will happen only on a shooting spot. And for that particular movie, for that particular scene, it's even greater. So the knowledge, transference of knowledge is amazing, and the bond that is created through that process is unforgettable.
Vikram sir, Lokesh from Kannada Picture.
Because எங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இருக்கு, both of us. Like அவர் வந்து எப்பவுமே Mani sir is one of those rare directors வந்து நடிச்சு காட்ட மாட்டார். He will just come and he will explain, like how Karthi said. So the way he says it, immediately to strike a chord somewhere and you start doing something else. So he and I don't know, I think one of the best understandings for me with a director. So once Ravanan, the thing is 10 characters. So each character, each time we do a scene, he'll say இந்த character மாதிரி பண்ணி பாருங்க, இப்போ இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப வீக்கா பண்ணி பாருங்க, இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங், இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப கோமா. So over there we'll try a different character. So I practiced all that with him and we had an understanding. Like so even here sometimes he'll come say, hey, what you not? I said, yeah, you said to do this. No, like we'll be sometimes talking like you asked me to do this. And yes sir, but you didn't explain properly. So he said, hey, I explained, you do it. And I thought, so it's very nice when you talk to him, and he's a very, suddenly he'll be short-tempered, suddenly, but he's a genius. So I just love that little thing, that banter we have and working with him, and I think he brings out the best in any actor, and it's every actor's dream in the South or in India to work with him sometime. just an example, somebody asked whether as multi-starers or whether Trisha was okay or Ravi was okay. You know, there are 14, almost every actor in the movie is a hero or a heroine or has been. Right from Babu Anthony, Jayaram, Parthiban sir, everybody has been a hero. Rahman, everybody, Pongali, everybody is a heroine. They are working in films as heroines, but they come white. In a movie with so many characters, mainly of course Kalki, and you want to be a part of this project. And like Ravi said, we get inspired by the other actors, but at the same time, I think we all felt, none of us felt at this time that, okay, I want this film to be a blockbuster for me. It's like we felt we are part of something really large, a larger picture. And I come to Kantara, like see Rishabh really touched me, that I feel in that movie, every actor would have felt, every role, I want to do it. Likewise all of us, and he calls us again, we'll again come and do this. That is what he did for us.
Thank you, sir. Karthi sir. Karthik sir. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ LCU ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಲೋಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ
I know Mani sir is thinking of something in that zone, but I cannot tell you that.
Sorry, Uncle.
When I walked into Mani sir's office, there was a whole load of researching that was already taking place and had been done. And Eka and her team, I mean, I have to credit them for the look, for working hard. And we worked for 6 months prior to filming. And so we had enough of time to experiment. I mean, the bun, I think took about 3 months to, fix, because we didn't know how to do it and it has to be done.
Not every day, just the idea.
Just the idea, yeah. Once we fixed it, it was fine. No. But it took 3 months to get that. We tried a small bun, it wouldn't sit, and then medium, and then large. And we've used different sizes. Like for a coronation scene, Sir wanted a little more of a queen look, a princess look. And for like the romantic scenes, he wanted a shorter bun, so it was very challenging. And like you said, I mean, so many people have played princesses, but this is so special to me because I loved playing dress up. It was fun, and it touched me beyond anything when I saw so many people, starting from like children to adults, posting reels to me, tagging me. I mean, I'm just wondering, I was like cribbing here and there because we were shooting. I'm like, these people just did it just because they loved the role and they wanted to like show it to me. So it's definitely one of my top 5 most favorite characters I've played.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hi. This is actually Jemima here, and this is for all of you.
I was under the impression that he burnt his leg. Curry is coal and Kal is leg. So as a child, I used to think he burnt his leg, and that's why they call him Curry Kal. So he's a tough guy. So I started thinking I wanted to be him. So later I got to know that's not the story, and my mother used to narrate the story to me. And then later when I was doing this, when Manisa approached me, all of us, I think we all read the book, and once you read the book, you kind of understand. It's like you envision something, like anyone. I mean, all of you all will have, like let's say there are about 100 people here. If you read the story, you'll have 100 different versions of Aditya Karikalan. You understand? So like that, I had a version, Manisa had a vision, and always you judge the director. His decision is final. So he had this vision, and mine kind of was in sync with that, and we worked towards that. And the difficult part was the language we speak. We didn't want to speak archaic Tamil which no one understood. At the same time, we can't speak normal Tamil. So we spoke something midway, but the idea is it was still Sendamil. It's not the Tamil we speak. It is proper chase Tamil. But the idea was to speak it like you would say, hi, just get me that stuff, keep it here. What are you doing? I'll meet you later. That was the way we said. It's not, hey, what are you doing? Sit down. So that was the problem I felt. I think most of the actors must have felt. Trying to be normal with that language, wearing that outfit. It's very difficult actually being a prince or a princess, wearing armor or wearing jewelry, doing your hair, and then going and performing. There is a different body language. Like there's this particular scene where I had to walk and come. I thought I did a great job. Manisa said, one more. They said, can I see the monitor? I normally don't see the monitor. I saw it and I was like walking like some guy out of college. Like, it was not princely at all. Then I realized, okay, I have to change my walk. So there is something there. And the director was always there to guide us through that. And I think that's from my point of view.
300-page script. So, for example, Vandiyathevan meets Kundabai multiple times before they can speak to each other. But whereas in the movie I'm meeting her only once. But all that has been written so far in the book has to be transpired in that one meeting. So unless you read the book and take in all that Vandiyathevan carries all through, you cannot represent the right Vandiyathevan. So I had to go back to the book and not just stick to the script. I had to go back and read the scene from the book once and again on the script and then come to the scene. So Mani said the first thing, if I raise my voice, he would say, did you read the book or the script? He would say. He said, stop reading the book, you have to stick to the script. So then, since my character is the only person who's traveling through the kingdom and is meeting everybody else, I somehow felt I had to understand a common man's point of view in 10th century. There are no accounts of common lives anywhere in the history. So I had to read travelogues, I had to read Selvan where there are accounts of common man's lives. For example, there is one reference where Kovalan and Kannagi, if you have read the book, Kovalan and Kannagi, they go from Pumbahar to Madurai in search of a livelihood. And they're crossing a river. Just before they cross the river, there is an account, because it's written in 4th century, there is an account where they say people stand and pray to the river before they cross it. Because river was the life source for everybody. And that one thing stuck to my mind, and when we were shooting the song, I told this to Mani sir and he made me do that. So there were a lot of references from history and poetry also to prepare for this character. That's my effort. I don't know how successful I was in bringing it on screen, but I did read through a lot of it.
They were the ones, and you see if you just check on YouTube, see any of the reviews or reactions, it's all the younger generation who's saying, superb, we love this is the kind of thing, history and blah blah. I don't think they'll go to a history class, but they definitely went to the theatre. Manisha made sure that with the popcorn and the coke, they also had a very good film to watch, and they learned their history.
And in fact, from Chennai to all the way to where are they?
No, from Bangalore one.
There's so many bikers
from
who came
Bangalore
to just explore that path to see where this story happened. Now, people have been exploring it. There are so many historical tours happening now, and people are very, very interested to know more about the history. See, this film is only a fiction based on history, but this has created so much interest around the history of the entire India, I would say. People have started taking more interest in history because so much of history we don't know. We don't read about it, but there is fascinating information there.
Hey,
Vikram sir.
Shalom. He's a good friend of all of us. He's a great actor to work with always, and I think his character, I love the scenes with him and Trisha. I think he's already done Gilly with you as, that he was the pair. There's another one where he's the father, no? No, but as a father, but in this, I felt the relationship between you and him was very different because he's ailing, he's not well, and she is someone who's like a son in their relationship. Regarding Kishore I think is one of those very talented actors who's been, I like not just him as an actor, he's very intense, but he's also someone who's into green earth and into farming and agriculture, and he's someone I've spoken on. I've not had any scenes with him as such, but when I did meet him, I told him I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I think he's a very, very intense actor and he's good. Aishwarya Rai, I think all of you all know, right? And she's great to work with, and I think you'll love her in this film. You'll love her or you'll hate her, but you can't ignore her.
Hey, another good. Yeah, because for a bad guy, you have different emotions, but a good guy has to suppress all the emotions. So for me, it was very difficult to suppress all the emotions actually. So when I look at somebody, I shouldn't have hate. The look has to be suppressed enough that I don't hate you. I welcome you, kind of a look. I never know how I came up with the look. I think that I've done my job properly. From that basis, I'm speaking now. So to be pleasant is very difficult. To be that good person, Mani sir gave me, he just injected a lot of emotions in me about the great Rajaraja Chola. So, and I didn't want to, sorry to say, but I didn't want to copy anybody in this particular character, because the greatest Shivaji Ganeshan sir has done as Rajaraja Chola. I didn't watch that before the shoot, because if I watch that, I will exactly act like him. I know there is no way that I will be different than him. or I can't even match up to him in 10%. What I did was I believed in myself, I believed in the script, I believed Mani sir, I believed Kalki, and I believed God that this will be done properly in my own way, and I tried doing it. And that's the belief that I still have, that find your own way, and that is taking me forward. I think that helped me move all these days. Thank you.
For me, I would say historical films, you need extreme strength. You have to be extremely fit to do a period film to begin with, to carry the armor, to be able to ride the horse, to do all the action, and the speed which Mani sir shoots. What you shoot in 10 days will be shot in 4 days here. So imagine you should be like an athlete to be able to do it. So it's a lot about physical fitness. But apart from that, I think my role was something which so many people wanted to do it. So there is no second thought about it. It's only the fear of doing it right and making sure it comes out well. And one more thing is, when you do a classic something like this, which is written 70 years back, you will be remembered forever. This is a kind of a film where if you're just part of this film, you'll be remembered forever. You become a part of the legacy here. So I think that way we're all blessed that our identities are very different now. So many people who call me VT, they call me AK and PS. So our identities change when you do a classic film, something like this. So that way we're all blessed, and it's definitely a sheer joy and learning. I would say this film put to test all that I've learned all these years. It definitely tested me as an actor. Thank you.
Boys bathe in donkey's milk every day. If you can find a donkey, it will help. And of course, makeup helps, and computer graphics. I'm sorry, I'm answering to you.
I think
Sweetest thing to say.
jeans, like good jeans.
Jeans, apart.
And Tata Party. And I think just be happy, do what you want, don't think too much about what people think, say. It really helps. A lot of how you look is everything that's happening within you internally, and I have come to realize that over the last 5 years. So just stay happy and positive. It's hard, I know, don't take in too much stress, and I don't
As you said it, you started looking even more beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Last one question.
Puneet before he passed, and I really regret that. And every time I come here, my first thought is him, because we were so excited about that film. It was called Dwitva. So yes, if something is challenging, because I loved that script, I loved my character, everybody, I would love to do a straight Kannada film. I'm very, very open to it. And sorry, your first question was...
What are your thoughts about the recent Kannada films that are being made in recent times?
Hats off, starting from, KGF and then Kantara. I watched all of them. Kantara, in fact, twice. Hats off to you guys. You're making some great cinema, and it's like I said, since it's global, I'm so proud to be part of cinema. It's the right time to be in cinema.
Okay, thank you so much. We are concluding the question answer round. Thank you.
They are yet to answer actually. So
I called Prashant and told him he'd done a fantastic job, and we should work sometime in the future. Likewise, I think Rishabh rocked it. It's very difficult to be an actor and to direct and to concentrate in the shoot. It's very difficult. I've directed some small stories and stuff. It's very difficult to do both. But he did both with such, such skill. And I thought the energy in that movie was beautiful. And I also watched it about 2 or 3 times with my family. And I think your industry, KGF was, I think, the eye-opener for all of us, because your industry is pretty small. But they could have thought, this is the budget, let's do this. But it's not like the first part did well, so let's do better this. The first part itself, you decided, let's do something big. That is a vision, and I think that worked. Kantara, on the other hand, was this dark horse that is a good film. You didn't realize how good it's going to go, but every state celebrated. Like I said earlier in Tamil, we loved that film. I loved especially the last 20 minutes, hats off to Rishabh and the team. It was beautiful. We love your films, and I think all of us would love to work in your films. I'm open to that. All of us are open, and like Trisha said, there's no language. It's the same.
I think it's a new way. They're rocking. These films have been fabulous. They're completely redefining Kannada cinema, or the opinion about Kannada cinema. The performances are fantastic. The visual, like when Vikrant, the visuals were so good. You wonder where were these people so far? Now, suddenly everybody is doing fantastic work, and one after the other they're coming up with, it's just not one film and it went away. Kannada cinema is bringing with great films one after the other. I met Rishabh 2 days back. He said the part 2 is already, prequel is already started. So I think they're doing a great job, and we're very proud. You know, we're all very proud of that.
You all. And please keep supporting us. Thank you so much.
Prominent actors, really, we really enjoy your gathering here. So we have our PRO Karna.